All right. So Alan has $2 in her pocket, consisting of quarters and dimes. Let X be all the dimes. Find the appropriate domain and range. All right. So what is X? We got to stop talking. All right, so what would Y be? The what? The quarters. Very good. Ladies. So let's come up with an equation. What this equation needs to be equal to how much? Very good. Very good. $2. Say that again? Yeah, but this is equal to money, which means the value of the money on the dime and a quarter has to be involved in this because this is money, right? So how much are dimes? 10 cents. And how much are quarters? 25 cents, right? Let me erase this and give myself a little bit more room. All right, so it needs to be equal to 2. Do you know how many dimes you got? No, but you do know that they're 10 cents, right? So 0.10x. If I put 10, you might get it confused with $10, right? And you don't want to do that. And then plus 0.25y equals 2. Now, if I want to graph this, what do I need to do? I need to solve for what? I need to solve for y. Very good. I need to solve for y, right? So to solve for y, I'm going to take away 10x. That will be 0. And then I get that 0.25y equals negative 0.10x plus 2. Are you with me? This is why we solve for those variables before we started doing this, okay? And now I need to get rid of that 25 cents. So I am going to divide everything by 25 cents. Now in here it's canceled, so you get 1y. And what is negative 0.10 divided by 0.25? Let's go ahead and change that into a fraction. Negative 2/5. Somebody already did it right without going to the calculator. And then what is 2 divided by 0.25? Or just think about how many quarters are in $2. In $1 there's 4, so in $2 there would be 8. So now I got my function, right? Now, we got to find out the appropriate domain and range, okay? Now, the domain will be your x's, right? Which are your dimes. And your range would be your quarters, which are your y's. Can I have 2.5 as a domain? Yes or no, and why? Why can I not, or why can I yes? Tell me why not. Let him talk. Say that again. Okay, I'm going to ask the question again. Can I have 2.5 as a domain? You got to think about what domain is. What is domain? Thank you, the number of dimes.
So there can be
There you go. Give your family 50 points. You cannot have 2.5 dimes. You can have 2 dimes, and you can have 3 dimes. But if I cut a dime in half, does it have any value? No, it doesn't, right? No, it doesn't. So I cannot have 2.5 dimes. Do we understand that? Yes? Yes? All right. So now that we figure out that my domain cannot be decimals, right? Because I cannot have 2 3/4 of a dime. I can have 2 and I can have 3, but I cannot have anything in between, right? Because otherwise I'll cut it. You need to cut it. I need to cut it, right? I won't cut it. Because if I cut it, then there's no value there, right? Do we understand? Yes. All right. So now let's figure out what will be an appropriate domain and range, okay? We can round, but remember, the amount of quarters and the amount of dimes need to be equal to $2, right? Because that's how much you got. So you don't have an unlimited amount of money. You just have $2, right? So you got to figure out what is the combination of dimes and quarters that will give you how much? $2, right? So we can what? 10 dimes and 4 quarters. That could be one. Yes.
5 dimes.
So what? How can we do that easier? How can we do that easier? Yeah, and put the equation on the y equal to and try to go where? To the table. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so I'm going to go to y equal to, let me clear my calculator because I didn't clear it up. Y equal to, and then that fraction needs to go inside what? There you go. Before you put it in the calculator. Plus 8. And I'm going to go to the table. All right. So I can I have no dimes and 8 quarters? No, because it says this consists of quarters and dimes. So I at least need to have how many? 1. Thank you. I at least need to have 1. So, right? So I can have 1. Can I have 1 and 7.6? Nope. So tell me some of the possible domains. Okay, so 5 dimes, that would be how much? 50 cents. Yes? So I can have 5 10 cents. And according to my table, I can also have 6 quarters, right? 6 25 cents. Yes? Okay, so let's see if we can have another combination. I cannot have 6 and 5.6, right? All right, so I can have 10 cents and 4 25 cents. Is that $2? Yes, it is. Yay? All right. Let's keep on going down. Can I have 15 10 cents? That will be 150, right? And then 2 quarters? Yes, I sure can. Uh-oh. Is there anything else? Can I have 20 and 0? No, because that I need to have at least one of each, right? So what is my reasonable domain and my reasonable range? All right, so let's start with the domain. What's my reasonable domain?
5,
And 15. Very good. 5, 10, and 15. And what's my reasonable range? 6, 4, and 2. 2, 4, and 6, because you got to start with the smallest one. Very good. 2, 4, and 6. Does that make sense? Yes? Alrighty. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Bob has 50 cents in his pocket consisting of nickels and pennies. Let X be all the pennies. That will be 1 cent. So what would Y be? Thank you. How much is the nickels? 5 cents. So this is your domain. And this would be your range. That equation needs to be equal to how much? 50 cents, because that's how much he has in his pocket, right? All right. So the number of nickels and the number of pennies and their value needs to be equal to 50 cents. So what can I put for X? 0.01X. Why 0.01? If I point 1, then what is it? It's 10 cents, not 0, no, 1 cent. Very good. Plus 0.05Y. Now, can I graph it? Can I put it on Y equal to right now? No, so I have to solve for Y, correct? Alexa, you want to pay attention to me, baby girl? Thank you. So take away 0.01X. That will be 0, right? 0.05Y equals negative 0.01X plus 50 cents. And now divide by what? Yep. All right, so let's do it. So negative 0.01 divided by 0.05. And I'm going to change that to a fraction, right? Negative 1/5 x. And then 0.50 divided by 0.05, that will be 10. Just 10. No, that says just 10, right? And then before I put it in the equation, and y equals 2, then I got to do fractions over the, yeah. So let's write it on y equal to. Let's clear that one out. Negative 1/5 x plus 10. Now again, can you have half of a penny? No, you can't, right? No, you cannot. And do you have to have nickels and pennies? Yes, so you cannot have a 0 for, right? For any of them. Yay? All right, so second and table. Let's see. Uh-oh. I cannot have negative of anything, right? I cannot have 0 and 10, right? No 9.8, no 9.6. All right, there you go. What can I have? 5 pennies and 5 pennies, 9 nickels. Yay? All right, let's see the next one. There it is. 10 pennies and 8 nickels. Keep scrolling down. There it is. There's another one. 15 pennies and 7 nickels. 20 pennies and 6 nickels. And that's the last one? 25 and 5. Next time, I'm just going to do an X and a Y table. Is that okay with you guys, okay? So that I don't have to write so much. Okay, so Larnisha says there's one more. 30 and? Let's see. 35 and 3. Uh-oh. We got a bunch in here, don't we? 40 and 2. Do we have another one? 45 and 1, because I'm assuming she's saying that that's the last one because the next one should have a 0. Yep, there you go. And you cannot have negative pennies and negative nickels, right? All right, so let's talk about my domain, my reasonable domain. I got a lot of numbers in here, don't I? All right, so let's talk about my domain. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Yay? Yes, babies? All right, and then my range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, can I just go ahead and write from 1 to 9?
Yes.
Yay? Or if I want to write it in inequalities, what would it be?
1 equal to
Less than, there you go. Crocodiles eat in the same way. Smallest number first, biggest number at the end. Yay? It's not that hard, but you just really got to think about this, right? Like Virginia was able to tell me no, because you can't have half of a penny or half or whatever, right? All right, let's go to number 11. Jack travels 40 feet per minute. He travels for 10 minutes. Let x be the time in exact minutes and y be the total distance. Find the appropriate range. All right, so let's write that down. X is what? No, x is the time.
Y is the distance. Distance over time.
All right, so what's my equation over here? So it has to equal to 10 minutes.
It's plus 10 minutes.
Does anybody know the formula for distance? We've seen it on the literal equations. Look for it. Look for it on your notes when we did literal equations. Or Google it if you have a phone. I don't think I have them anymore. You can go check. I don't think I have anymore. Time sign what? All right. We're talking too much, and there's no other way that we're talking about math right now. All right, babies. So that would be your y, right? And this would be your x. And what's the rate? Say that again, Rolando. 40, because it's 40 feet per, rate is miles per hour, feet per minute, I don't know, inches per second. All right, it's a rate, which means it's got to have a per in there, right? So that would be 40, right? But I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it because I don't like that coefficient at the back. This is called a coefficient. I don't want it at the back. So y equals 40x. All right, so we're looking for range. So we're looking for that, right? But he only traveled for 10 minutes. So what does that mean that he only traveled for 10 minutes? Okay, but then what does that mean in the equation? X equals what? 10. Because X is what? Time. So if X equals 10, what is Y, right? That's what it's asking you. Then 40 times 10, which is what? 400. Yeah, you guys just complicate your lives way too much. And that would be feet? Are we good? During the football game Friday, Tabor? Tabor? I don't know, that guy. Only scored touchdowns for 7 points and field goals for 3 points. So let's highlight. Touchdowns for 7 points, field goals for 3 points. The final score was 42. Let X represent the number of touchdowns. What is an appropriate domain and range? All right, so if X is the number of touchdowns, what is the field goal? Very good. How many points are the touchdowns? 7 points. What are the field goals? What was the final score? So what does that mean that the final score was 42? That it equals 42. All right, so if it equals to the points, these points have to be involved in the equation. All right, so talk to me about what goes over here. 7x plus 3y needs to be equal to 42. And we're going to solve for y, right? So that we can do the domain and the range. So minus 7x, that's 0. 3y equals negative 7x plus 42. And now divide by 3. Yay? And then y equals negative 7/3 x. What is 42 divided by 3?
14.
Thank you. And this is my equation, right? Yay? And then I'm going to go ahead and go to y equal 2 and write those down, right? All right, let's go for it. Parentheses, negative 7 divided by 3, x plus 14. And I'm going to go to the table. Yes, you do. Do you see that I closed it? I didn't open it and just not close it, right? You can put the negative outside if that's what you're asking. It's not going to do a thing. The only thing that cannot be inside, why am I going up?
Because
Look at all those negatives. Can I have negative field goals? No. Can I have 0 of field goals? No, because it's touchdowns and field goals, right? So definitely it's not 6. Can I have 4.6 of a field goal? No, I either have one or I don't have one, right? So let's take a look at my x's and my y's. What's the first possible one that I could have? 3 and 7. Let's go up. Can I have 0 and 14? So there's only one possible domain and one possible range. And what would that be? 3 and 7. So I didn't need a long table. Are we good? All right, let's do the last one. Susie sells cookies. She sells them for $1.50 each. She paid $5 for supplies and made a total of 10 cookies. Okay, so she sells them for $1.50, $5 for supplies, and made a total of 10 cookies. Let X represent the amount of cookies and Y represent her profit. Okay, so X is the amount of cookies.
Hey, calling these parents.
Yes.
Tell me what days this parent.
No, it's just today.
Only on Fridays?
Yeah, no. They have, do you guys have Wednesdays? And second Friday of the month.
Okay.
And then it's every
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you for 2 hours, 3:30 to 5:30. Thank you, Miss McMiller. I greatly appreciate it.
Call them now so they'll know.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so X is the amount of what, babies? The cookies. And Y is the profit, right? All right, so do you remember how to calculate profit?
No.
When do you start making profit? Okay, so you got to start selling, right? But didn't this person have some out-of-pocket expense? What was their out-of-pocket expense? Yeah, okay, so that's your out-of-pocket expense, right? So the profit, if you take your, I'm gonna stop. Whew. If you take your sales, right, and you take away your out-of-pocket expenses, that's your profit. So profit equals sales minus expenses. Very good. Now you don't know what my profit is, but you do know that they're what? Y, right? It says it right there, doesn't it? So what are your sales?
10.
What's your sale?
The cookies.
Read it again.
150.
Per cookie, right? Because you're selling them for $1.50 per cookie. So that would be 1.50 what? X. But then I had to take my expenses, which are how much? $5. But did she make an unlimited amount of cookies? No. How many did she make? She made 10 cookies, right? So X equals what? 10. So can I just go ahead and plug it in over here? Yes? So 150 times 10 minus 5. And you can do that in your calculator or in your head, depending on how good you are with math. I think it's $10. So what's my appropriate range for her cookie selling? $10. My range? There's only one range and one domain in here, right? Because she made 10 cookies. Now, it can go from, can she make more than 10?
Yes.
Can she sell more than 10? No, because she only made how many? 10. All right? Now, so the range would be $10 for the maximum amount of cookies that she sell. But what is the minimum amount of cookies that she can sell?
Oh, wait, the minimum.
2.
All right, let's stop and think about it, okay? What's the maximum amount of cookies? 10. What's the minimum amount of cookies that she can sell?
5.
Why 0? Thank you, Anthony. What if she doesn't sell anything? Thank you. So the range is from what to what? From 0 to 10. Give your family 50 points. That's the domain. What about the range? What's the maximum amount of profit for selling 10 cookies? Because that's her maximum amount. $10. But what if she doesn't sell any?
0.
Really?
She doesn't sell any.
Thank you. Why -5, Joshua? She spent 5, so she's on the whole for $5. Give your family another 50 points. Thank you very much. Because if she doesn't sell cookies, she still spent how much money? $5. So it's from -5 to what? To 10. She could lose the $10 the $5 that she invested, or she can make up to $10. Very good. Are we good? All right. 14. Jackson sell lemonades for $2 per cup. He paid 10 for supplies to sell 15 cups. What is the practical range for the profit of his lemonade selling? Okay, so what is X? The cups. The cups of lemonade, right? What was X over here? Oh, I don't have it. What was X over here? The amount of cookies. It's the same thing, but instead of cookies is the amount of what? The amount of lemonade cups. And what is Y? Profit. All right. So the profit equals the sales minus the expenses, right? So profit is Y. What are the sales? 10 is the sales?
15.
Okay, guys, come on. We can do this. Can we please stop? If you would just slow down and think about it. We just did one exactly the same, but with cookies. Thank you, 2x. My God. Just slow down. Take class. Well, I can hear. If you don't speak, I can't. So don't blame me because you're not speaking up because you're afraid to be wrong. Oh yeah, I can't deal with this group. We play too much. We got too many boys that are immature. I can't do this. And too many girls that talk. All right. What are my expenses? And we're still joking about it like I'm joking about it. I'm not joking about it. In case you haven't figured out when I joke and when I don't joke. I'm not joking about it right now. Because you know what's going to happen? I'm just going to stop doing tutoring and good luck. Because I don't have to stay. This is my afternoon as well. Correct? You only had to stay twice this week. I had to stay 4 times. So if you don't want to take this seriously, that's fine. That's 2 weeks. That's every Wednesday I get to go home early. What's my domain? But we have to do some math before we can figure out the domain. The domain is the number of cups, right? Actually, we have to do some math for the profit, not the domain. So from what to what cups can she sell? From 0 to 15 because she only did She sold 15 cups, right? All right, what about the range? No. Negative 10, thank you very much. We just did one. Thank you. Somebody's saying it. Was it you, Virginia? Somebody said, wait a minute, we have to figure out something. Who said it? Thank you. I knew somebody said it. I knew it was from this side. I just didn't know who. So we have to figure out how much profit will 15 cups will give me, right? So now that means that I need to say 2 times 15 minus 10. That's 20. So my possible domain is from 0 to 15. My possible range is I don't sell any cups and I lose $10, but I could also make 20. Yay? All right, let's do 15. The cost of soda is 2 and the cost of candy is 150. You have $15 in your wallet. How much of each item can you purchase? Yes, we just did one. Yes. All right. So what's X? Soda. What is Y? Candy. How much money do you have to spend? Which means the equation needs to be equal to 15. All right. So if this is the money, that's $2. That's 150. If this is money, then that money needs to be considered when I put the equation in there, right? So talk to me.
2.00x.
So 2x,
Yeah.
that's fine. You don't have to put the point .00.
Or 1.5 plus 1.5x.
No. Y.
Oh, y.
Y. Y. So now we have to solve for y, right? So minus 2x, minus 2x, 150y equals negative 2x plus at 15, and then I got to divide by 1.5. All right, so let's grab the calculator because I really don't want to do that. It's the beauty of 8th grade. Negative 2 divided by 1.5, and I'm going to change that to a fraction. Negative 4 thirds. All right. And then what's 15 divided by 1.5? 10. So plus 10. And then when I put it in the calculator, I got to make sure that parentheses, right? All right, so you got to think about, can I have half of a soda? Can I have half of a candy? Not technically. You can buy a candy and divide it in half and give it to somebody else, but technically you cannot buy half of a candy, right? All right, so let's go to y equal to. Let's write that down. Remember, parentheses around the fraction. And we're going to go to the table. All right. Does it say that she has to have both of them? No, it doesn't. Right? So talk to me about possible domains and range. 0 and 10. She doesn't have to buy a soda. She can just spend it all on candy. What's the next one? 3 and 6. Next one? 6 and 2. And that's it, because I cannot have negative 2 of anything, right? Are we good? Let's skip over 16. Let's go to 17. It's the same as that one, so I don't want to go ahead and do it, so that we can move on to our next activity. All right, on the unit test, there are two types of questions. Multiple choice questions are worth 3 points. And free response questions are worth 4 points. If Jacob made an 80, what are the possible combination of correct answers? All right, what is X and what is Y? Which means Y is the free response. All right, what was his grade? Which means the equation has to be equal to 80. Now, how many points for the multiple choice? 3. And how many points for the... All right, so if these are points, the 3 and the 4 need to be taken under consideration when you are making the equation, right? So talk to me about the equation on this side. 3x. There you go. And now I got to solve for y. Take away 3x. And divide by 4. And then what's 80 divided by 4? 20? Yay? All right, so let's go ahead and put this on equation solver. Not equation solver. Y equal to... Can you tell I'm tired? All right, and we got to put parentheses around the fraction. Second table. All right. Now we have a challenge over here. What's my challenge? I don't think anybody has noticed.
They don't have to they don't have to be just, it can be just whatever, they don't have to be both.
They can be points, like points something.
Well, if they see, it doesn't tell me if the kids are having, if the teacher is giving the kids partial points, right? It just, I'm assuming that if it doesn't tell me that, I have to assume that it's either right or wrong. But there's another challenge too. I'm sorry, but they're on fire. Another 50 points. How many questions the test has? Does it tell you? No. All right. So, since it doesn't tell me, I cannot assume anything. So I'm going to say 0 and 20. What's the total score?
80.
Because it's 20 times 4, right? What's the next one? 4 and 17. Now these ones are 4 and these ones are 3. Can somebody do the math and tell me if that's 80? I'm not sure. 4 times 3 plus 17 times 4. Oh, it's 17. I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
It is? So they're all going to be equal to 80? All right. Let's go to the next one. Let's go back to the table. I'm sorry.
8 and 15, 14.
8 and 14. Now this is assuming that we're not getting any partial credit, right?
12 and 11.
Which in my test you don't. You either get it all or you lose it all.
16 and 8.
16 and 8.
20 and 5.
20 and 5.
24 and 2.
24 and 2. And that's it. After 24 and 2, that's it.
And they all should be equal to 80. Are we good?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go over the test.